Glitches in games like Brawlhalla are usually pretty mundane compared to other huge games like GTA or Minecraft, but you would probably be surprised by the amount of glitches that Brawlhalla has actually had over the past few years. Some exploitative and some just plain weird, but regardless, today I'll be going over every glitch in Brawlhalla's history. Starting in 2017, just after the game's official release, someone found a glitch that would bug out the characters in the character select screen. This would be achieved by hovering over a legend and then spamming the left and right buttons between two legends fast enough to confuse the game into not knowing who you were hovering anymore, resulting in some pretty cursed images. But the weirdest part about this glitch is that the weapons the characters were holding after you performed this glitch were actually discontinued weapon skins that were removed from Brawlhalla back when it was in early development, meaning these weapons should have never been seen by players, but for some unknown reason they appeared as a result of this glitch, which I'm not gonna lie makes this one of my favorite glitches, and if you didn't know, you can still do this to this day. 2018 was the year of very minor glitches that were at most just a little annoying. For example, there was a very rare bug that allowed the login bonus screen to appear during an online game, which could obviously interrupt your game and potentially ruin it, but it was such a rare glitch at the time that most people didn't even know it existed. A little later in the year, there were two minor visual glitches, one that made some of the characters' facial expressions off-centered, and another glitch that wouldn't update the numbers under your name in a party. Basically, if party member number 1 left the group, then a new party member 1 wouldn't be seen until you started a new game. Very minor glitches that were all fixed relatively quickly, but then there was a drought of glitches until the big 2020. And 2020 started with a bang because a glitch was found that would seemingly randomly send a player flying into the sky for no reason at all. But in actuality, the glitch was caused by dash jumping right as the platform started moving upwards, which would then transfer the upward momentum onto the player, making the game freak out and shoot the player straight upwards. And of course, right as this was found, people somehow found ways to make crazy combos like this. I genuinely don't know how people have time for that, but I'm glad they do because I will admit it is extremely cool. Just like the Artemis Scythe NSIG glitch that also happened in 2020. This glitch allowed players to freely move around when charging up the signature, which was extremely broken because usually you're locked in place when the SIG is charging, but now you could literally hunt down people in the air with the added movement. Plus, you could also cancel it in midair, letting you have an insane movement option on top of everything else. But 2020 also offered us one more glitch that was pretty tame compared to the last two, but was still extremely cool. This glitch was found on the map Fangwild and was exclusive to training mode because in order to perform the glitch, you had to use the position reset option. And you had to use this option right as you fell off the right side of the map so you could be teleported into the void. And when you did get teleported, you would have a few frames to jump and recover upwards, which would allow you to glitch inside the map. Not gonna lie, pretty useless, but I don't know if it's just me, but I always love a good out of bounds glitch. Going into 2021, we have another training match exclusive glitch that actually involves the CPU. You see, if you stacked yourself on top of the CPU and then set it to mimic your movements, it would be as if you were the only person on the map, but every time you would try to attack, you would get stunned for a second since you were technically clashing with the CPU. And once you got to low enough health, you could do some pretty goofy things with this glitch, which is honestly the main reason anyone would even want to do this. I guess 2021 was just the year for training match glitches because this one also involves the training room. However, this time it utilized the backtrack feature to perform this glitch. And all you had to do was just move around the training range with a weapon in your hands for a few seconds, and then in the training match settings, switch your legend to someone who didn't have the weapon you were just holding. And after that, all you had to do was backtrack your character, and eventually you would have a weapon that your character is not supposed to have. So theoretically, Diana could be using a lance because of this glitch. But once again, the weapons that you would receive after doing this glitch were old prototype weapon skins from before the game had been released, which continues to be my favorite part of these glitches because it shows how different the game used to look all the way back in development. 2022 was a relatively weak year for glitches, which I guess is a good thing. But for a short amount of time in 2022, there was actually an XP glitch that could be done by setting up a private room as a crew battle game with the maximum amount of time and 99 lives each. Then you could connect another controller to your setup and join the same lobby. And finally, when entering into the match, you could quickly disconnect and reconnect back into the game, and once you did all of that, all you had to do was play the match until the timer ran out, and you would gain upwards of 600 XP per match, when on average you gain about 100 XP per regular match, making this glitch pretty insane for people trying to inflate their legend levels. However, it was patched, and when it was in the game, some people reportedly got banned for using this glitch. So in the future, if there is ever another XP glitch, I would highly recommend staying away from it. Plus, leveling up legitimately is far more rewarding. 2023 was another quiet year for glitches, as the only one was a map-specific glitch, which will become a theme later in this video, but this time it was on the map of Void Miner, where the developers forgot to put collision under a section of the map, allowing players to enter inside of the map, although it wasn't nearly as broken as some other map-exclusive glitches because you couldn't stand inside the map. However, you could still make it back up to stage if you had the options, so it could have been annoying in some very niche scenarios. But now we head into 2024, which is what I like to call the year of glitches, because the amount of them was pretty insane. So first we'll start with the pretty tame ones and then make our way into the actual broken ones. So first is by far the funniest glitch in all of Brawlhalla, where the head of your character would just randomly become massive, making people look like Crimson Chin out there. I honestly think they should have kept this in the game because it was good comedic relief. However, around the same time, there was a very mildly infuriating glitch in 2v2s that would automatically make your team color either the default blue or default red, regardless of if you picked a different color in the lobby or not. This didn't affect the game whatsoever, but not being able to use your favorite colors was pretty annoying. But now we get into the slightly more broken glitches that occurred in 2024, starting with the infinite wall slip bug that plagued the game when the map Chasm first released. This was the first map that introduced a shrinking stage, and because of that, there was definitely some oversights that came along with it, but most notably was the fact that as part of the map was falling, you could infinitely wall slip on the back side of it until it fully fell off. And worst of all was that once the portion of the stage fell, it would for some reason reset your jumps, allowing the player to safely get back to stage. It wasn't extremely broken, but people used it to be as annoying as possible and just stall out matches. However, it is fixed now, so thank you BMG. If you remember, a few minutes back in the video, I said that map-exclusive glitches were going to become a trend, and that's because, just like with Chasm, when Bikini Bottom first got released, you could instantly KO anyone if you hit them into the long barnacle at the bottom of the stage. This was fixed super fast, but my god, it was fun to use for a little bit, but not gonna lie, super broken. Not as broken as this next glitch though. Just 2 months ago, after one of Brawlhalla's updates, people started to notice that they were able to hit people through walls. Obviously, this was a huge mistake in the code, but for a short period of time, you could use any signature or move that could reach through a wall, and it would actually connect to your opponent's hitbox, making the game absolute mayhem for a short period of time. Now we get to the big 2025, and I honestly didn't think there was going to be any glitches in Brawlhalla this early into the year, but I'm sure you guys saw that very recently Scythe had an insanely broken glitch that would allow it to carry momentum through its down air. Usually what's supposed to happen is that after you use your down air on Scythe, you should essentially be stuck in place where you activated your down air, just like you're stuck in place for a second after using any move in the game, that way people can punish your whiffs. But for some reason, this glitch made it so you continued to have momentum through the use of your down air, which made Scythe insanely broken because now down air was practically unpunishable while also carrying players that were caught in the move insanely far off stage. And the funniest thing about this is it happened as a result of BMG trying to nerf Scythe down air. And this is exactly why I love Brawlhalla. But in all seriousness, the thing that I think we can all agree on is that no matter what the glitch is, it always has some funny way of using it, and I think that's what makes Brawlhalla glitches some of my favorite of all time. But that's enough of me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day.